What is up, fellow YouTube artists and aspiring artists? My name is Mike with Aerosotle Custom Spray Paint Art. Today I'm going to walk you guys through a little painting. Got our poster board set up here ready to go. For today's painting I am going to use two stencils. A little UFO stencil here and this little dude with his arm raised high up in the air. I'm going to incorporate these into my piece today. Exactly how, I'm not too sure. If you guys are interested in cutting out and making some of your own stencils, make sure you check out my how to make a stencil tutorial. It's super good, especially for these single layer, simpler stencils. It'll show you kind of my process and how to get those cut out. Make sure you head on over to that video. Aside from the stencils, today I'm going to use a nice big round object. Maybe not that big, let's go medium size. Little planet stencil about that big. I'll likely be using my palette knife, some newspaper, magazine paper, or a plastic bag, completely up to you. We use various colors of Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Gloss Spray Paint. This is available at any hardware store. We're also going to be using Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Gloss Black and White, as well as this Quick Color brand by Rust-Oleum. This is the cheap stuff you find at the hardware store. All right, for this painting here, I'm gonna have like a moon or a planet right about here. I'm gonna have some mountains coming down along this side here. Maybe a cool galaxy in the background. I'm gonna find a nice spot for my UFOs and for my little guy stencil to make this piece kind of pop. So I think that this spot will be pretty good for my planet. Just gonna do a nice little mist. Gives me a nice working area in which to spray my paint. So I'm gonna take Rust-Oleum Sun Yellow here. Lightly shade in this planet. Top of that. Make sure you get your cans nice and shaken up. I'm gonna throw in just a tiny bit of this magenta color as well. I'm going to cover the whole thing with Rust-Oleum Gloss White. Next, I'm going to take my plastic bag. It's already quite crumpled up. If you want to crumple it more, change the pattern here of the bag, feel free, go ahead. It's all about experimenting anyway. I'm going to lay that down. And inside the bag here, we're just going to drag our fingers and lightly tap them over the area of the planet. Make sure that bag gets some contact, and then we'll peel it off. That looks great to me. Next up, I'm going to create some mountains. And for these, I'm going to kind of swoop them down this way, make some jagged rocky cliffs. First up for this, we're back to the Sun Yellow. And in this case here, I'm going to have my mountains just overlap a little bit of the planet. That's why I'm doing this step before covering up the planet and going to town. We're coming in with some red. For this part, we're going to go ahead and cover this up with black. Now for the planet here, we got some overspray of our black. That's okay, because I got to shade that still anyway. We're going to go ahead and shade our planet. For this, we're using our Rust-Oleum Quick Color. Nice light mist that comes out of these cans are great for shading out planets. And a little bit more of the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Black, just to thicken up that bottom edge. I'm satisfied with this. We're going to go ahead and pop our planet stencil down like so. And we're going to come in and we're basically going to cover it with black. Nice gentle sprays. Keep the paint from pooling. Awesome. Now that we've got that on the go, we're going to go in and add a little bit of a galaxy effect. That last bit, we just sprayed some rustling quick color white, just light mist over the black. We're gonna come in with this candy pink. I've just gone in and ripped a little piece of plastic bag off here. I'm gonna go ahead and do with this and just dab these areas of our future galaxy here. Kind of some central bits. It really gives that cool nebula effect of almost negative space. Go in, not too much, just a little bit. We got that kind of cool nebula effect here. I'm gonna go and add some deep blue. Keeping my can nice and far away. We don't want to cloud things up too much. We're gonna get some Rust-Oleum gloss white onto our fingertip. Flick that off to the side. We're gonna go in and make some stars. I'm gonna grab the straight edge here. I'm just gonna make a little sunburst effect by spraying along this section right here of my straight edge and placing that on top of my planet stencil. Just doing nice light burst along that edge. Very careful, guys, you're gonna get some paint pooling up as you do that. So you wanna make sure that before that drips onto your canvas or your poster board, you go ahead and wipe it off. Just going across here the same way. Touch that up a little bit. And then a nice little spray right in the center of it. Now we go ahead and pop off our planet stencil. As you can see, we do have a bit of a planet ring here. That's not a problem. Go in with our quick color. And just mist out that section there. Now we're gonna come in, we're gonna just add a little bit more black to the areas that we wanted as our mountains. Just gonna get the paint nice and malleable again. We'll just get that nice thick coverage. We're also gonna come in with our quick color white here and just hug the line here of our mountain terrain. It's gonna give us a nice misty effect for the background. Spray a little bit elsewhere too. Usually pops in the form of highlights after you texturize. Really cool effect. Now we're getting our bag ready. We're gonna come in and texturize and create our mountain here. So for that, we just place it down. And with this finger, I'm just gonna go along and draw in my mountain. With this hand here, I'm gonna be pulling the bag back as I go across. So as you guys can see here, it's a really nice effect. When you start layering yellows and reds, you get that nice kind of fiery looking effect, and it's super effective to get some pop into your pieces. We're pretty much there, guys. We're almost ready to add our stencils. This is absolutely crucial though. You must let the painting completely dry before you go on to the next step. Now, a lot of people will tell you that you can use fire, which is true. In the past, I've used a blow dryer, and that's been somewhat effective. Fire is super dangerous. Blow dryer was a bit of a pain. The best thing I can recommend is to get the piece in a non-dusty area and get a fan over it. So if you have a garage or a shed or something like that, go ahead and place your painting in front of it and get the airflow moving over top of the painting. That is 100% the best, safest way to dry your piece. So we're gonna take a little pause here. When we come back, this painting will be nice and dry and we'll go on to adding in our stencils. All right, we are back. We've let this painting dry for about 10 minutes in front of a fan. It's good to go. Always resist the urge to come in and be like, oh, is it dry yet? Because sometimes it's not. While we were gone, I did that, actually messed up an area here, but I was able to fix it and just turn it into some more mountains. So make sure you're 100% sure before you do the touch test. If you do the touch test, try to do it in the edges, but keep in mind also the most recently painted part of your painting is gonna be wet longest. Who would have thought? So now we're gonna add in our stencils. Got a man with a raised arm and some UFOs here. So we're gonna go ahead and figure out a good spot to place these. This guy, I want him kind of right on the edge of this mountain. I'm gonna say right about here is gonna be great. And then for our UFOs, I think I want those guys to be right about there. Because of the way I place this, I can actually spray both our dude here and the UFOs at the same time. Keep in mind if your stencil goes over the edge of something and cuts into like the stencil part that you've already sprayed, you're going to pull some paint off. So you want to make sure that you orient things nicely. Alternatively, you could spray this guy first, let everything dry, and then go in and do this other stencil. We are going to block off our painting. This can be easier said than done depending on the surface area that you have to work with. So this might be a little bit overkill. I'm not going to be spraying wildly, but nothing makes me more upset than getting my stencil placed on there, getting them sprayed, and having the edge of our stencil create a nice line right in the middle of our beautiful painting. That sucks. So make sure you cover up as much as you can, guys. All right, now we're good to go. I'm gonna place some cans strategically on the edges of our scrap poster board here, just to make sure that we don't have any overspray. You don't have to go too wild, but it's nice to be careful. So if you can see in here in between, we're gonna go in with Rust-Oleum Gloss Painter's Touch Black. Really get it shaken up. If you spray a bunch of solvent into your stencil, it's gonna look terrible. So make sure this is nice and shaken up. Spray some off to the side, make sure you're getting a nice clear stream of paint. And all I'm gonna do is go in and do little bursts to get everything just barely covered. I don't wanna put too much paint. Less is definitely more here. Just as soon as you can't see anything else popping through, you are done. So we're gonna go in with our guy here. 2 sprays is all it took for that one. There you go, not much paint at all. We're gonna go pull off all of our cans here. And then start unwrapping this thing. I'm gonna go in with my palette knife just to jimmy up the edge here and peel back our stencil. And for this one here, make sure you peel them back kind of slow and always in the same direction. That way you're not gonna rip any paint off. You're gonna have nice, clear, clean results. That looks pretty awesome. I'm stoked with how this turned out. We're gonna go in with a pointy tool like this, nice pointy tip. I think this is a clay modeling tool. This is what I use to sign my paintings. We're just add a little bit of highlights to the UFOs and to our, I don't even know what to call them, our lone wanderer. So for that, we're just gonna go in, we're gonna take into account our light source, which essentially is right here. This little starburst. And I'm just gonna etch in anything that would really be reactive to the light. Maybe a little line straight across on this guy. Just scraping off some of our black paint. Nice and gentle. Don't want to overwork anything here. Angle, switch things up. You don't have to stay on the same axis the whole time. Those look great. Now, same thing, just factoring in where our light source is coming. Where's the light going to be bouncing off of our lone wanderer? So we're just going to go in and highlight some of these outside edges. These little details, guys, really make your paintings pop. So as tempting as it is to kind of stop right there, once you get the first sprayed your stencil on, you get the nice black silhouette. Silhouettes are cool, but if you go in, take a little bit of time, just add a little bit more detail. It's a really, really nice effect. Just gonna have a quick look at this and make sure I'm satisfied with everything. Maybe go in and add a little bit more here, like the underside of this ship. Boom, I'm officially satisfied. So we've let this painting dry really well. What we're gonna do is spray just a little bit of clear coat onto this bottom corner. And I'm talking just a little bit. When spray paint dries and you spray clear coat on, it'll look a little bit dusty almost. Last but not least, we're gonna sign this. Since we let the painting dry, we're gonna spray some clear coat. Right when you spray it onto the dry painting, you'll be able to see how shiny and nice it looks. So you just wanna do a first quick little pass, just enough to get the paint malleable. Go in, as always guys, sign your art. Very important. To wrap up our painting, we're going to cover the whole thing in clear coat. And that's going to be a wrap on our painting today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Thanks so much for following along. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys again soon in the next video.